Have you ever been in a situation where, or are you in a situation where you're a person who is waiting to have some surgery done and you're just trying to stay safe in the meantime and just worried about the chance of having a fall or just something going wrong where you need some help, and you just are in a position where you're just at a bit of a loose end to know what to do? Well, I sort of found myself in that situation, and here's one of the things that, or some of the things that I do to try and keep myself safe in the meantime. One thing that I did have a couple of months back was I took a tumble in my kitchen, and it's a stupid thing because when you've got your legs aren't working properly because you're waiting for knee surgery, you're inclined to sort of scuff your feet along the ground because you can't really lift them too much. And I was going through the kitchen and walking around the end of the island going towards where the sink is, and my foot or my shoe just sort of caught on the vinyl floor, and I just went forward and lost my balance. And unfortunately I wasn't close enough to the sink or to the bench to be able to grab out and hold myself up or to stop myself from falling. So I took a bit of a tumble on the floor, and that was sort of quite traumatic. At the time it was. I kept thinking, oh my God, what damage have I done? And anyway, I stayed there for a minute and thought, oh, I've got to get myself up. I was home on my own. And so I sort of felt round and thought, yep, everything feels okay, doesn't feel like anything's broken. So I gradually sort of managed to get up onto my knees, reach up onto the bench by this time, and pull myself up into a standing position. And I just stood there for a few minutes just to make sure that I wasn't sort of, going to keel over or do anything stupid like that. And I made my way sort of into the lounge just to have a sit down, just to check that everything was all okay. And once I'd sort of sat down and the initial shock had gone, I started to feel like I had a bit of a sore jaw and a sore head. And what I'd actually done is, as I fell forward, I'd tried to reach out for the bench in front of me and missed it, and sort of went down right in front of the bench. And then just round the corner there's another set of cupboards. And as I went down, I caught my jaw on the cupboards beneath the sink. And that sort of pushed me over to the left-hand side, and I ploughed straight into the cupboard on the left-hand side and hit the top of my head. I feel so embarrassed to talk about this, but it's a fact of life. Anyway, the photo, as you can see on the thumbnail of this video, I went ouch, and it did hurt. And I come up in a real decent bruise on my face. And this made me think about, firstly, when my daughter came home from work, because she lives downstairs in the flat, and when she came home and she looked at me and she said, "What the hell have you done?" I said, "Oh, I took a tumble." She says, "Did you call the ambulance? Did you call this? Did you do that?" And I says, No, I was okay. Anyway, by the time I'd settled her down, and I sort of thought about it, and I thought, I am lucky that I didn't break anything or put my head actually through the cupboard rather than just at the cupboard. Anything could have gone wrong, and it was quite sort of scary to think what the possibilities are of what could have gone wrong in that situation. And so I've had to be very careful, make a very careful note now of things that I do, especially when I'm home on my own, that I don't put myself in a position of being or put myself in a position where could make myself subject to a fall or something like that. And unfortunately, even just to get in the house from outside where the car is, I've got to step up and down the back door steps. There's 3 steps there to go down to get down to ground level. And then once I get inside, I've got steps from the dining room up into the lounge, and there's about 4 steps there. And I can't avoid them. I've got to be coming up and down those steps. And every day when I do it, I keep thinking, oh my God, I hope I don't take a tumble. And so the doctor has suggested that I use a walking aid, like a walking stick. And I think, oh God, do I have to use a walking stick? But what I have actually got is I used to go out hiking a wee bit, and I've got some of those hiking poles. And so I've got one beside the step, which I've lowered the level of it down so that it can just help me get up the 4 steps. And I can put my hand on a piece of furniture on the side, a big TV cabinet on the side to help me get up the steps. And then I've got another one, the other part of the walking pole, the other one, I take with me in the car. And I have that at just normal length, and I use that basically as a walking stick if I'm going to be going any length of any distance or anything like that at all. But it really is just, it's just one of those things. I mean, my mind wants to go and do stuff, but my body at the moment just is not going to let me. And it's hard enough, I know, when you are young, when you get laid up for any reason, if you get, sort of have a broken leg or a broken arm or something like that. It's a bit windy here. I know it's very hard if you get laid up when you're younger, but when you get older and you want to keep on moving and being active, it's very, very hard to put yourself in a position where, or to be in a position where you're very limited what you can do. I used to be quite an active gym goer. I used to go to the gym often, and I actually did my shoulder. I did bad injury to my shoulder a couple of years ago, and I sort of wasn't able to go for a few months, and I sort of stopped going after that and cancelled my membership because I was working for a couple of years. But then once I stopped working, I should have gone straight back to the gym. But of course, by that time, my knees had said, no, you're not going to do that. And it's really hard to try and stay physically active. And I'm just interested to see what other people, if you're in that same position, what do you do at the age of 70 or 75 to keep yourself active when your body wants you to take it easy, telling you can't do all of these things, but your mind's telling you that you actually want to do them, and you've got to do them to keep yourself active and stop yourself from seizing up altogether. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've become very aware of. And if anyone's got any solutions of things that they do to keep themselves active while they're in this position, hopefully, it's going to come to I'll get to the end of it before too much longer once I've had my surgery. But, until I've had that surgery, I'm still very restricted as to what my movements are and things like that. Even to stand for a period of time, I can stand probably for about a couple of minutes, and then I've either got to sit down or lean on something, and it's just a bit of a nightmare, really. And if you've got any suggestions, or if you've got surgery coming up and you're in the same position as me, what sort of things do you do to keep yourself active? One thing I try to do every day, if I can, is to get outside like this into the fresh air and not lock myself up inside. I mean, we are still in winter here. It is, mid-August, and July, August are normally our coldest months, and at night time it's really cold, and this breeze at the moment's really quite chilly, but it's nice because the sun's shining, and it's just nice to get out and to get a bit of fresh air and to get a bit of sun. And you have to start making active decisions to do things rather than just letting normal things run their natural course. And I'm just wondering if you're in that position at all. Is there anything that you do in particular? Just leave a comment down below or something like that. So yeah, it's just really nice at the moment for me. I just find to be able to get outside. It's very quiet here. I'm up in the park. There's not very much going on round behind me. There's a big walkway down below where I am at the moment. Behind that bush there's a big walkway down into there. And one day I want to start being able to get down in there again. This particular park, it goes a long way around. I'll see if I can go get right round there. You can see right round the other side there. And it's really good if you can walk right round that whole paddock and into the bush on the other side. There's the inner harbour is just down below there, but there's some beautiful bushwalks through there. But it's just, I just can't do them at the moment. So, hopefully I'll be able to get back to that stage in the near future, because I do miss getting out. Love going through the bush, love listening to the birds and just being at one with nature for a while. So that's my little attempt at the moment, is I can get out here and sit in the wind and talk away to a camera. Anyway, if you do have any ideas, it would really be good. I'm going to be trying to think up a few ideas in the near future to try and keep myself busy and to keep myself fit, or to try and get myself fit, put it that way, so that hopefully I'm going to be nice and fit and ready to go into the surgery when the time comes. So that's pending. I'll keep you up to date on how progress is going with that, and anything that I learn along the way that may be of interest to anybody else who's in the same position as me, or whether they're thinking about whether they want to go and have their knees operated on. Probably what when I'm filming, I might do things that make you think otherwise, or I might encourage people to go ahead and do it. So that's the whole idea, is just to keep people up to date as to how things are going, what the process is. But in the meantime, just trying to stay active, trying to stay fit and healthy, so that when the surgery does come round, then I'm going to be ready for it. So anyway, that's a bit from me. The sun's coming out again. The wind's dropped a little bit, which is really good. I have to say I did move out of where I was there, sitting on that seat. It got extremely cold and windy, so I decided just to go back into the car and just go for a little drive along and just finish this video off with a little bit of the scenery along the driveway of the park. This is our sort of beautiful bush, and there's lovely walking tracks in there that you can go in there and have a wander around, listen to all the birds, things like that. It's really quite lovely being able to do that. Just driving down the bottom of the hill here at the moment, and just over here. So yes, I thought I would just finish this video from inside the car. It did get rather cold out there, and my nose was running and my eyes were watering and I was in a bit of a mess. So anyway, just back to the subject of the video. If you have got any ideas, or if you're in the same position as me with this period in between, I sort of feel a bit inactive. If you're in the same position as me, or something similar, when you've got all this, period where you're unsure on your feet and you're sort of waiting for things to happen, and you don't want to sort of let yourself just sort of go to seed sitting in the same place inside all day, what are some of the activities that you do to keep yourself active? And if you've got any ideas, I'd love to hear them. And so basically on that note, that's me for this. My name is June. Thank you for coming along. If you've been here before, that's great. If this is the first time you've been here, thank you for coming. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. In the meantime, stay safe, take care. And if you'd like to subscribe to my video, that would be good. I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.